What's up, guys, and welcome to another video. On today's video, we're going to be wrapping up January reads, which, let me go ahead and tell you, it's a roller coaster. It is an absolute roller coaster because I am a stingy person when it comes to my 5-star reads. I don't hand them out a lot. You know, it's got to absolutely rock me to my core if I'm going to give it 5 stars. And I had 3 5 stars last month. 3. That's so many. But then there were also 3 books that I could have lived without. So we're just gonna jump into this. You're gonna see all my opinions and what books I'm talking about. And hopefully you can get some recommendations. And then I feel like there's a specific book in here. People are gonna wanna jump me. I'm sorry. All right, so in the first book of January, we follow Maya, and her brother has made it to the big leagues. He is an F1 racer now, and he is actually beside one of the really good racers in F1, Noah motherfrickin' Slade, and he is him. He is him, okay? We're just gonna leave that there. And Maya's just like, she's really struggling to find her life's calling, and she doesn't know what she wants to do with herself or her future or anything, and everybody else in her family has it figured out, so she just feels so left out. But her and her brother just have this really like close-knit relationship, and she decides, hey, I'm gonna follow you while you go on your F1 journey, and I'm gonna vlog. And she becomes like the F1 vlog girl. Like, everybody watches her videos, she does interviews with the drivers, and it's just so freaking fun. And like Noah and Santi are like, they're teammates but they're rivals, okay? Because they have bad blood between them. They don't get along. And they especially don't get along when Noah starts like throwing eyes at Maya because she's just her, okay? So I mean, honestly, if you're into F1, this is for you. If you're not into F1, this is for you. I want to dive back into Dirty Air, but I'm holding off until the F1 season starts because I feel like watching F1 and then reading it, it's just gonna be so fun. So I'm super excited about this. Obviously, I love it, okay? It literally made me a fan of a sport I never cared to watch before, and that's insane. That's talent right there because you made me fall in love. So yeah, gave this 4 stars. Started off the year great, honestly, so amazing. Okay, I'm gonna try to contain myself while I talk about this next book because oh my god. If you have not read this book, literally drop everything you're doing right now and go buy and go devour the 7-Year Slip. It was so impulsive. Like, I don't even know what made me pick this book up, but oh my god, I'm so glad that I did because this is like my entire world now. This book is me, okay? It's so good. So we follow Clementine in this book, and she is going through a very rough time. Her aunt actually just passed away, and they used to go on all these adventures together and travel the world, and now she has to navigate this life by herself. Like, obviously she still has her parents and she has her friends and the other people she loves, but her aunt was a huge part of her life, and now she's just gone. But her aunt leaves her apartment when she passes, and her aunt always told her there's like, this apartment is magical, it's special, like things are weird in here, things change. And there we have the 7-Year Slip. Literally will take you back 7 years in the past to the day that you're at. And when she like goes back 7 years, there's this strange lemon loving southern man. I love it so much, but he's just standing in her kitchen and she's like, bro, what are you doing? And she slowly finds out that her aunt was not just telling her stories. This apartment literally goes 7 years into the past, okay? Like, in my opinion, the best book will literally whisk you away into the pages. Like, you feel like you're in this book, and I felt like I was like I said, this book is me. Like, this and me are one thing. It's just like, it takes over your freaking life. Ashley took magic and she made it magical, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So in this book, we get a story of grief. We get a story of love. We get a story of adventure. We get a story of healing, friendships, finding yourself. It's just, oh my god. It's literally so fast paced too. You're going to pick it up, and I was actually just talking to one of my Bookstagram friends and she couldn't put it down. She literally did not go to bed until she finished this book because it's that utterly amazing. It's just so good. And like, come on. Do you see all the tabs? Like, I cannot hype this book up enough. It is so freaking perfect. So she meets that man and she's like, dude, what are you doing in my kitchen? And they just slowly start to have these times and these memories. And she's like, oh my God, I really like you. But the problem is she going to be able to find him in the real world today? And will he still feel the same? I literally cried like 3 times reading this book. And like, I could cry right now just thinking about the fact that I can never read it again for the first time. If somebody asked me my favorite book, this is literally it. This is her, so say hello, because this is like my favorite book in the entire world right now. Please go read this book. It was utterly amazing. And I can't think of what else to say to make you read it. It's just so good. Ashley has a way with freaking words. 5 huge fat stars. I loved it so much, okay? 7-year slip. Please read it. You guys are about to see the energy change so drastically. You know I told you there was 3 books I could have went without, and I'm about to talk about 2 of them. So, yikes. My love will not change for this series as a whole, but the last 2 books can, like, I don't need them. I don't need them. I should have just stopped with 5. Be like, 5 books is fine. I don't need 6 and I don't need 6.5, but I read them, okay? And 2 stars for both of them, and I feel like that might be being generous because I did not like these books at all, okay? Let me just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. I love Shatter Me so much. Erin Warner, mwah. Freaking Juliet, mwah. Kenji, mwah. All of it was so freaking good until I got to Imagine Me. And I just feel like, I don't want this to sound rude, but I felt like there was way too much happening. Like, she was trying to do way too much, and I feel like we had already been through so much within book 1 to 5, including the novellas. So much had happened and it had gotten freaking insane, and then these other books, it's just like way out of left freaking field, and I just was not having it. I was not having a good time. I had super high hopes that I would be pulled back into this, because I mean, if you watch my reading vlog, there is a point in this book that I am like getting way more into it. I'm like, oh, but then it turns around and it's just like, what are you doing? But yeah, like I said, the other books were just, they were so good and so action-packed, but this one I felt like it was doing too much, and it was just like, it wasn't making sense, okay? And then this book, my favorite chapter was the very last chapter. If you've read it, you know why. And other people told me, you know, you might hate Imagine Me and love Believe Me. I feel like there was so many loose ends that did not get closure at all. And I hate that because I have questions and concerns. Me, Nora, and Tiara still cry about how bad this ended. I hate talking badly about books, so can we just move on? I actually don't have the physical copy of this book because the author sent it to me, but my next read of the month was He Sang to Me by Casey Tyler. Okay, her name is Sunday True Love, and she has this huge dream of being a Broadway star. If she is not the most driven and inspiring character I've ever read, like, it's insane how driven she is to get to the goal that she wants. A huge thing for me in this book was the friend group, because I mean, she's completely starting over. She's meeting new people. Her roommate, I loved her so much. Her coworker, loved him so much. All of her friends, she goes to this dance class and she makes these new friends, and it just becomes this whole big group of amazing people who are doing nothing but push her to get her dreams and to achieve her goals, and they're so supportive of her, and I'm just like sobbing the whole time because I love them so much. And then Tyler, he was so freaking cute and he was so sweet, and I love when the men catch the feelings first, and he's just like, he's really vibing with her, okay? So we just go through this whole ordeal of, he is a Broadway star and she has this huge crush on him, but like, she's like inspired by him. She thinks he's hot. He is the perfect guy for her, and she wins tickets to go and see a Broadway show. So she takes her roommate, she's like, let's go freaking do this thing, and she just falls more in love with the theater and the performing and all of that stuff, and they like lock eyes when he performs, and so she's like, oh my god, I think I'm in love with this guy, and you know, they just run into each other and then things happen. I really love Sunday and Tyler. Just the dynamic between the two was so freaking cute, and I literally could not get enough of them. So I gave this book 4 stars. It was really good. Casey, the author, literally the sweetest person I've ever talked to. Okay, I'm gonna keep this next one brief because you guys are gonna be like, what is wrong with your brain? Things We Left Behind. Okay, your jaw is about to be on the floor, but I gave this 1 star. This book just was not for me. So we follow Sloane and Lucian in this book, and to say they have history is an understatement. They don't get along anymore, like at all. Anytime they're around each other, they're like at each other's throats arguing, and I felt like it was like too much of a hatred, you know? I mean, they grew up together, they were the best of friends, and then something happens and it changes the whole course of their friendship, and then as adults they still hate each other. There's definitely action in here, because that is one thing that Lucy Score kills every single time, is there is always some crazy action happening, but I just could not overlook the way they treated each other, the vibes of them. One second they're at each other's throats, and the next is like, wanna go bang? And I'm just like, what? Okay, so we only have 2 more books left to talk about, and they're both 5 stars. Okay, so immediately after I finished The 7-Year Slip, I picked up, because it's been on my TBR for a while, people have been raving at me to read it, and I'm just like, I'll get to it at some point, but The Dead Romantics. Oh my god. I love it so much that it's actually insane. So obviously it took me a little while to finish it if I picked it up right after the second book I read, but that's not because of lack of love or anything of that sort. I just wanted to take my time, relax, and really enjoy this book. So in this book, Florence is actually a ghostwriter for a very popular author, and she's been doing this for a while, but after going through like a really bad breakup, she believes romance is dead. She's like, how am I supposed to write a book that's about romance when I don't even believe in that crap? Like, what is going on? And her editor's like, girl, literally, I'm not changing your deadline. You're writing this book and it's gonna be romance. Then she gets a phone call, and I literally sobbed, but her dad passed away. So she has to fly home for his funeral and to say goodbye and all that stuff. When she gets there, there is a broody man standing in the doorway, and it is no other than her editor that just told her that she needed to finish her book, and she thinks she's tripping. She's like, that's not who that is. Like, I have to be losing my mind right now. But no, girl, she was not losing her mind. He was literally there, okay? So she sees ghosts, like that's her thing. That's her and her dad's thing, like he saw ghosts as well, but that's how she knows, like, oh my god, he's dead. Okay, so literally throughout this whole book, she's trying to help Ben get that closure so he is able to move on to the other side, but at the same time she's really starting to enjoy his company, because he is just the sweetest freaking wholesome person ever. She thought that day in the office that he was just like this stern guy, and he ends up just being this wholesome, amazing character. And they're getting so close with this, and she's trying to help him get his closure, but we can't quite figure out what he needs. What is his closure that he's looking for, you know? This book sealed it for me that Ashley is like one of my favorite writers, because the way she writes and the way she gets all your emotions on the line is actually insane. I sobbed for like an hour freaking straight. I could not stop, because one thing would happen, and then another thing would happen, and then another thing would happen, and the tears were just, they were flowing. But yeah, I mean, this story is just so real, and it's so raw, and it gives you the truth of grief and how hard it is to say goodbye, especially to your loved ones and people that you grow so close with. Saying goodbye is hard, and I'm literally gonna cry again. Okay, drum roll please. So I'll put the book here because I don't have it yet, because I will be getting a physical copy, because I literally need it in my possession. The Pros and Cons of Us by Emma Miller, okay? I beta read this book this month, and oh my god, guys. All right, so this book, 5 huge stars. 5 huge blazing on fire stars, because it's so freaking amazing, okay? It's book 2 in the Checklist Romance series by Emma Miller, and it's literally my favorite thing in the entire world, okay? In this book, we follow our girl, Sienna, literally the best person I've ever met, okay? And then we follow Lawson. I need to read the blurb to this just because I really don't need to spoil anything at all. Okay, so we're just going to read the description that Emma posted because I don't want to spoil anything. Just know that this entire book is literally my existence. I have not read the list of things yet. I literally ordered it after chapter 2 or 3. It was chapter 2 or 3, I can't remember, but like I literally wasn't even 10% into the book. And I was like, oh my god. Like, if you go into that book and you read the Pros and Cons of Us before you read the list of things, you're going to be left wanting to read the list of things. So let's just read this description real quick so I can tell you guys what is happening in this amazing book, okay? So Lawson Bennett literally the most amazing man I've ever met. He's so wholesome, dude. Oh my God. I know I've said all these other people are wholesome, but Lawson, I've never met a character like him in my entire freaking life. And I literally cannot wait to have that book in my hand. Lawson Bennett is a player in more ways than one. He has a reputation around campus, but that doesn't stop girls from trying to take their turn for a night with him. He spent the last 3 years of his college career having fun with his friends, winning football games, and hooking up. Sienna has played her last few years the way she thought she should. She managed to score a top spot on her lacrosse team. She's kept great grades and a best friend she loves. She stayed in her own lane in a relationship she thought was worth it, but wasn't all it's cracked up to be. With years of love down the drain, Sienna's best friend pushes her for a night of fun, and Sienna does just that. Sienna and Lawson have a night together, and neither of them seem to be able to forget. I know. The unlikely couple are forced together due to their best friend's budding relationship, and they each have a separate mission. Sienna hopes to never see him again, but for once in his life, Lawson is dying to see her again and make her see who he is deep down inside. Can they meet in the middle and manage to be civil since they'll be seeing so much of each other, or will every outing end in disagreement? The only thing that they feel they have in common is attraction and mutual dislike until things change, until true feelings come into play. Oh my God, I'm getting so freaking giddy right now. Hold on. Look at how cute my favorite people look. Guys, this book was so good. I think I've talked about this book for like 10 minutes now. Oh my God. It's so good. Like, if you want the most respectful and caring and wholesome and literally perfect man, read this book. I love him so much. And see, she was amazing. Like, I cannot get over these characters at all. And I literally cannot wait to pick up the list of things. I'm literally staring at it. Hold on. I literally cannot wait to pick this up just because I loved The Pros and Cons of Us so freaking much that I know I'm going to eat this up. Her writing skills are impeccable, guys. Like, I can't even put it into words. Like, she just keeps you hooked the whole time. You literally don't want to put it down. I'm gonna stop raving because obviously you can tell I freaking adore. Oh, I love it so much. So yeah, that is January wrapped up. My top 3 of January are 7 Year Slip, The Dead Romantics, and The Pros and Cons of Us. Because, oh my God, I will never shut up about any of those books. They're just so amazing. So if you have not read The 7 Year Slip, go do it. If you have not read The Dead Romantics, go do it. If you have not read The Pros and Cons of Us, April 16th, please buy it, please devour it, and please come back to me with all your thoughts and feelings because I will literally listen to everything because I'm freaking obsessed. Like, I'm speed talking right now. I'm so excited. Okay, guys, sorry, that was a roller coaster. I told you it would be, but I love you guys. Thank you for sticking around to see all my January reads, and I hope you guys have a great reading month in February, and I'm going to go get back into Daisy Hates because, wow, the way that book starts is insane. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Do you guys do the hair flip? Like, I don't have volumized hair, so I do the hair flip, and then look, whole new bitch. Whole new bitch. Okay. Cut the cameras because I want to change. Oh wait, no, I literally took my thumbnail already. This is so chaotic already. What is going on with me? Chill out. Okay, anywho. Are we going to start or are we just going to keep saying anywho? Anywho. All right, Michaela, what is throttled about? Oh, well, let me tell you. Shut up. Shut up. Boop. Shut your mouth because you ain't talking any sense. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. The fact that I've taken 3 separate videos just trying to explain this one book shows, like, I just don't know how to explain it without spoiling stuff. Like, what am I supposed to say? He's a racer. She's a vlogger. Her brother's there. Her brother's rivals with the guy that we're interested in, that she's interested in. And it just gets crazy. He's literally Tyler frickin', I can't remember his last name.